Hi, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, beautiful souls. A very warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been really a while. And thank you so much for holding my space. So today I just want to reach out to you. I want to make you aware of some very, very, very important aspects in regards to 2025 and beyond. Happy New Year, by the way, first of all. I hope it will be a blessed year for you and that above all you're protected and healthy. Now, I made a couple of notes. I'm not going to keep this video very long. I just really want to say hi and to also let you know about some very, very important aspects. Now, 2025 and beyond. Let me go back to early 2022. In early 2022, I did a live session to all my community online, and I quoted the following from the World Economic Forum. And the quote goes pretty much, is paraphrased, but pretty much like this. In 5 years, the world will significantly change. And in 10 years, the world as you have known it will no longer exist. Now, mind you, the World Economic Forum is attended membership, by some of our most powerful leaders in politics and business, including also academia, research, science, NGOs, and so on and so forth, banks. Now, in 2022, when everyone was kind of thinking we're over with the pandemic, let's go back to life, I already gave the hint that something big is happening. I mean, why would you have a statement like that is very radical? You could say, we'll face challenges, we'll overcome them, or something like that. But to say 5 years from now, the world will significantly change, and in 10 years, the world as we have known it will no longer exist. That's a radical statement back in early 2022. And I kind of wondered what exactly is meant by that. Now, I gave a warning in terms of the economic outlook for our globe. So I touched on that for the last 3 years. And I also made you aware, to my best ability, how to strategize around that in regards to your African business or in the context of Africa. What I did not realize is that this statement, this radical statement, will actually affect every single aspect of our life. Economics, business, livelihood, health, spirituality, community, politics, climate, weather, food, every aspect of our life. And what I also did not understand at the time is that I had already unknowingly tapped right into it. Now, I have some very bad news and some very good news in the context of 2025 and beyond for your African business. Now, I just want to briefly share why I have been away for so long. I know many of you are aware, others have no idea. You've reached out asking, and I really thank you for holding the space. But here is how I have already unknowingly, like millions of others, tapped in. I was unaware. Well, I was aware, right? But I only looked at the economic aspect, and I was unaware that it would really target, if that's the right word, I want to say attack, target all aspects of our lives. And I was here in Rwanda really looking forward to enjoying my life, building my businesses, making an impact in Africa. I've been so passionate about it. I've worked so hard for it. And without knowing, I got very, very sick. I found myself fighting for my life, several times close to death. I had a systemic collapse of my entire body. I had over 60 symptoms. I had many autoimmune diseases. All organs were affected: brain, eyes, ears, heart, blood vessels, liver, you name it. And suddenly, after really thinking, oh, this is it, I've worked hard for this moment, let me enjoy my life in Africa, I was actually seeing an entire collapse of not just my body and my health, but also my livelihood and everything I had known and trusted. And I know many of you will probably be in the comment section in regards to the triumph, maybe the triumph of having known better. I didn't know. I was maybe naive, ignorant, stupid. But I hope that just like the way you didn't want to be judged, that you don't judge, because many of us have taken the step in the context of being coerced into it, of not knowing better, of wanting to be a good citizen, of not being aware or having no knowledge about the effects, the potential, the wider picture. And not only that, many of us also made difficult decisions to keep our livelihoods, to visit people who are ill or elderly, to be able to be allowed to partake in society, to be allowed to partake and take care of family members. And so I think it's really important that we all heal, and I mean that on a really on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. Now, for me, everything came down. I've been really sick with long COVID for 5 years now. In February will be 5 years of sickness. That's half a decade. That's a very long time. But it's been really the last 3 years that I became very, very ill, struggling for my life at times. I know I came back on YouTube in between, trying to kind of continue, but it was impossible for me and too much for me to take. Now I'm so happy to say I am on the best path towards recovery. I am stronger than I have ever been in the last 3 years, or even in the last 5 years. Let's make it the last 3. It was an up and down. And I'm back. However, you see, when you have really faced death and trauma, the recovery and the time was one of the most difficult parts of my life, and I've gone through quite a bit. Your perspective changed. Your perspective of what's important in life, what really counts. And let me tell you, most things you're stressing about don't matter. They just don't matter. They take so much life energy from you. They don't matter. And we always, we've been told that the biggest currency in life is money. And then we said, no, it's not money. It's actually time. But the biggest currency in this day and age is actually your life energy. We're being we're being challenged. Let me choose my words. We're being challenged as humanity, as humans, on a level we've never experienced before. Some of you understand exactly what I'm talking about. At all, in all spheres, all aspects of your life are affected. You may not notice yet, or you may already feel it or go through it. And, you know, that meant then, will I be starting over? Will I continue where I left off? Well, in some aspect, I am starting over from scratch. My business went down 90% or so. And I have to rebuild, but I'm not really starting over. Two things. First of all, I have life wisdom now and spiritual wisdom that I did not have before. So I'm taking a different approach, a holistic approach, not just for me, working much less because I'm still very much in active recovery. I'm still rehabilitating a lot of the damage that was caused to my body, you know, to an extent where even my bones have been deformed. That was just one of the symptoms. Very, very severe rheumatoid arthritis. Well, just one symptom out of over 60. So I'm rehabilitating. I'm still in active recovery, but I'm strong enough to guide you through doing business in Africa, but with an approach where I put you into the center and where we have to take the context of a fast changing world into consideration. Now, no one of us has a crystal ball. I will do it to the best of my knowledge, but I'm going to take a different approach. And that's my son coming in. So, well, I'm going to talk to you on this YouTube channel going forward about how to take into consideration the risks and how to strategize and build really a business that has you and your health and your well-being at the center, but to take an approach that is actually feasible and not prone to all the risks that you are already experiencing or you will be experiencing. So if you're thinking that, hey, 2025 is here, I'm excited. It's good to be excited, to be positive, to let your human confidence, faith shine. But guess what? It is not going to be business as usual. It has not been business as usual for the last 5 years, and it will just become more challenging on all fronts. And I'm not saying that's likely. I have really researched deeply. I have followed leaders in economics, leaders in politics, leaders in spirituality, leaders in history. I have done a deep dive into everything that's on the horizon, from health to climate, weather, and business. And I can only tell you that the biggest risk, I always talk about risk and opportunity in Africa and how to strategize around risk and opportunity. And guess what? The biggest risk right now is not corruption or choosing the wrong business model or not understanding African markets. The biggest risk, in my view, is you not seeing the wider picture. The biggest risk, in my view, going forward is you being asleep, just like I was asleep. well, sleep in a way where I'm like, oh, let me just enjoy. Your biggest risk is going to be, in my view, being asleep and thinking this is going to be business as usual. And the second biggest risk, in my view, is you coming up with complex plans, complex business models, capital intensive, complicated, a lot of moving aspects. Complexity will, in my humble view, be your biggest adversary. This is a time with turmoil around us in every aspect, and with the turmoil that's going to accelerate fast in 2025, 26, and beyond. 2025 to 2030 is that period which will be, according to everyone that I have listened, and I have listened to everyone by being open, people with a deep knowledge, and from Americans to Native Americans, from people in Asia to people in Africa, from people in Europe to people in the Arab countries, from leaders across the board, spiritual leaders, leaders that have died, the scripts, the religious scripts, everyone is telling the same story. Astronomy, that's also what I've looked into, and everyone is telling the same story. And the story is that 2025, 26, and beyond will be one of the most challenging times for humanity, not just in generations, but in centuries, if not even more. So we have to take this serious. I tapped right into it, all right? And I almost paid with my life. I lost a lot, but I also gained a lot. I gained a lot of wisdom, foresight, and the approach I'm taking now, Dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, wonderful souls, is to really use my energy on what counts. Less is more, simplicity. I can't also do a lot at the moment, as I'm still in recovery, but that will be my way forward, keeping it really, really simple. And I think that's what will serve you greatly. Now, those were the very bad news I talked about. Challenges over challenges, trials. You will be tested and trialed. And if it's not you, it's the people you love. And you need more than just a capital investment. Because what's really under attack here is the human capital, as they call it, the humanness. And for some of you, this may not really ring a bell yet. It's okay. It will soon, because the good news is that more and more people across the world in Africa are waking up, and it is, in my view, not your money, not your business model that will allow you to get through it. Yes, having a source of income, multiple sources of income, having a sense of freedom, flexibility, all of that will be crucial. But what really will get you through it all is your inner strength, your faith, and your foresight. You don't want to be caught up with it, not really understanding what's happening. You want, as much as you can, have a foresight and be guided. And I know this is very difficult to hear from a business coach, where we usually, we look at the data, we look at the market trends. Yes, That's important. But that will not be the only story. If you take that out of the larger context, you will run into challenges. Now, the good news, as I said, is that more and more people are waking up across the world. In Africa, there is a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for really getting to the bottom of things, knowing the truth across all aspects in our life. We've been deceived. The deception runs so deep. The rabbit holes of deceptions run so deep that it can turn your stomach. I wanted to know the truth. I have, taken most of my time really to understanding what is happening on the globe. And I needed that to find my path forward after everything that has happened. And it's not enough anymore to say, oh, these are the best markets in Africa to do business. And, and these are the best business models, and you should create great product. It goes far beyond that, and I will try my best to incorporate it. I have already recorded some videos. Some of them are even a couple of months back. I will really publish them soon. But I didn't feel strong enough to put myself out there. Now I feel guided to do so. And the other good news is that whereas Africa will be caught up in the turmoil in regards to inflation, trade wars, armed conflict, we will see an acceleration of that. And a lot of it also, of course, in regards to power struggles. So business is going to become more risky. But having said that, I strongly believe, although we will see this really playing out on the continent of Africa, we also see in the continent of Africa, I believe, a kind of a safe haven in some countries where we will at least experience a delay of the unraveling of the destruction, the downfall, the crumbling of things we will see in the West. This will probably be unfolding. And again, I don't say that likely. It's important that you research and that you open your eyes. Now, I believe that we will see a delay of that in Africa. And in some countries, not just a delay, but some kind of safe haven. I mean, every country will be really feeling the impact of what's going to play out in the globe, but not every country will be actively, immediately play an active role in that or be actively targeted. So, and that delay then, the Africa Business Jam status, will allow you to carve out some kind of a bubble where you can create alternative income streams, an alternative livelihood, some kind of safety net in regards to your livelihood for yourself and your family, your loved ones. I think I will leave it there. There's really so much to say in this regard. And sometimes I'm wondering, am I keeping things too general? Do we need more details? For now, I will leave you with that. More details will come, and I will really give it my best to guide you in my own humble ways through business in Africa, investing in Africa, in the context of a world that will become very, very challenging. Important in all that, that is one of the piece of wisdoms that I have received when I was very, very ill and my body was in chaos. I didn't focus on the chaos. If I had focused on the chaos, the pain, the fear, all that I have lost, I would not be standing here today, or sitting rather. I have, in the face of turmoil and pain and struggle and trauma, it was traumatizing what I went through, I have focused on the faith of my inner body, the power of my inner body, the power of my cosmos. I have trusted in God, the spiritual world, to heal me, to guide me. I have trusted in nature. So I did not trust in the system to get me out of that. I trusted in God, myself, and nature. And I think it is very, very important that we all trust in that, because they have laws that are all encompassing. These laws go through all nations, through all cultures, through all countries, through all backgrounds, no matter where you are in life. So again, wonderful souls, the Africa Business Jumpstarters, happy New Year 2025. Buckle up. Make sure you put your well-being at the center of everything else, because nothing else matters as much as you and your life energy and your wisdom and integrity and your intuition. And for that, you also need to open your eyes, open your ears, and go into your business and 2025 and beyond with a lot of foresight. And with that, I'm back. Thank you so much for holding my space. I truly, truly appreciate you. And I'm going to bring you more on doing business in Africa and to do it in the new context. So for now, goodbye and take very well care of yourself.